Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat and today we are checking out the Redmi Note 5A. Let's quickly get started. The Redmi Note 5A is a revision to the Redmi Note 4A, which was launched last year. This one is essentially a cheaper variant of the Redmi Note 5 and it is available in a bunch of options. We've got the 2GB plus 16GB over here, and as you can see on the box, the packaging is slightly different. It's got a red color packaging, which is quite unique. You do have some of the details and specifications on the back, but let's quickly see what is inside the box. Now, for those who are interested in checking this phone out, I'll leave links to buying it in the description below. There are also some coupons that I applied and I'll leave those coupons in the description below as well. So the price of the 2GB plus 16GB variant is about $110 US, which makes it really cheap for the price and for the specs that this phone has. It makes it essentially a 7,500 rupee phone. It ships completely free to India. You can also get the 3GB plus 32GB variant, which is slightly more expensive at $160 US. So once we cut through the packaging, the first thing inside the box is the phone itself. As you can see, it's got this metal finish panel, but it is a plastic back panel. I'll remove the packaging. I'll power on the device and see what else is inside the box. You do get a standard USB to micro USB cable. You also get a wall charger. Inside the box is also a SIM ejector tool and some documentation, and that's about it. Let's quickly take a look at the device itself. So over at the top, right next to the earpiece, is the 5-megapixel front-facing camera. Below that is a 5.5-inch display. It is a 1280 by 720p display. Compared to the 5-inch display on the Redmi 4A, it's considerably larger. Now below that, you do have touch capacitive buttons. These are not backlit buttons, but they are slightly reflective. On the bottom of the device is the micro USB port, which is flanked on either side by a speakerphone and a microphone in a symmetrical grille that you see over here. Over at the right is your power button and volume buttons, and on the top is a 3.5mm headphone jack along with an infrared blaster and a secondary noise cancellation microphone. Over at the left is where the main SIM tray is, and if you pull this tray out, you get 2 dedicated SIM card slots and a dedicated micro SD card slot. Over at the back is a 13-megapixel camera with an LED flash. It is an autofocus camera and can capture full HD video. Now the back panel, even though it looks completely metallic, is made out of plastic entirely, and the overall build of the phone, even though it's out of plastic, seems pretty good and it does not seem to flex or stretch too much. So on the inside, the Redmi Note 5A gets a Qualcomm Snapdragon 425 chipset, which is a quad-core chipset at 1.4 GHz. You also get 2GB of RAM and 16GB of storage on this variant, whereas you can get a 3GB plus 32GB variant as well. The battery on the device is a 3080 mAh battery with a promised 3000 mAh battery minimum of output. We'll have to see how that fares when we review the device, but running everything is a MIUI 8.5 stable ROM, which is a Chinese edition ROM, but you can install Google Play Store and Google Apps on this quite easily, in fact, and the device will support a 128GB micro SD card, so you can add a whole lot of storage on this as well. Android is set to 7.1.2, but the device will be updated to Android Oreo if the company is to be believed. Now, because the phone is running MIUI and you do get a Xiaomi camera application, you do get your standard set of options, including panorama, timer, and you also have a manual mode which allows you to customize the white balance and ISO, and then you also have the straighten mode, which basically straightens the shot so that you always get a flat shot. If you're recording video, you get a 720p video recording option as standard, but you can update it to 1080p to get full HD video. There is no form of stabilization, so if you do have shaky hands, you should get shaky video out of this. Now the front-facing camera is a 5-megapixel camera, but you do get your standard set of beauty features as well, so if you want to turn those on, you can do that. You also have a smart beauty mode and a pro beauty mode. You can also apply some filters before you click that picture, and then you also have your standard video recording for the front-facing camera. All in all, seems average, not the best to be seen from this device. One important aspect that this phone is completely missing is a fingerprint sensor or any security of any sort. So you'll have to stick to your traditional pin code unlocks or pattern unlocks that you would on a typical Android device without a fingerprint sensor. In this price bracket, if you're hoping for something like Face ID or any form of facial recognition, that is not available on this phone, at least in 2017. Hopefully by next year, a lot of phones will start implementing that. But for now, you don't have any hardware physical unlock capabilities, which add some security onto this phone. So that is something that you really must look at as a negative on this device. Now, if you guys want us to do a full review on the Redmi 5A, do let us know in the comment section below. You can also check us out on iGyaan.in, catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. If you haven't already, guys, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to get notified each time we upload a new video. This has been Bharat Nagpal for iGyaan.in. I will see you guys in the next one.